Welcome to the Visible Entrepreneur Podcast, Season 5. I'm your host, Michelle Lewis, founder of Visibility Vixen. I've spent years studying color psychology, branding, visibility, and publicity, all geared to help you hit your goals faster than anyone else. I'm a TEDx speaker, Amazon best-selling author, and have helped thousands of entrepreneurs worldwide with their visual presence. This season, we're diving deep into color, why it's needed, how to use it in your branding, and how audiences subconsciously and physically react to it. My goal is to help you blow up your brand in the best way to attract your ideal audience subconsciously. I run 2 programs, the Color Course and the Visibility Lounge, so if you're ready for growth, go to visibilityvixen.com to get started today. In the meantime, let's dive into today's episode, and if you think this is a topic that a biz bestie or a friend of yours or even a relative would love, do me a favor, forward it to them, and let's dive into this episode. Hey everyone, we are going to be chatting today about branding in terms of what do the pros say and are they right? I don't know about you, but I have heard so many times, so many things about branding, including some of the things that I'm going to put up here on the screen so that you can peruse and see if maybe you can relate to any of these or you've heard them from people that you trust. I'm so excited to be back today with another episode of The Visible Entrepreneur to talk to you about one of my favorite subjects in the world, color psychology in branding and marketing. You know that I'm passionate about this, and I'm hoping now that we've had a couple episodes of this season under our belt, that you're starting to feel that same excitement and passion when it comes to your brand colors. My hope is that by the end of this season, you'll have tweaks and stuff in your brand or maybe done a total rebrand. And of course, tag me on social so I can see it. I would love to see the before and after. And that you truly understand the impact that color psychology has in marketing, that you finally believe that this can impact your sales, that this can auto-attract your ideal client. There are too many people out there that were not taught this strategy. And honestly, it makes me upset. I teach classes on this all the time, and every single class I go to, this is not known. This has not been taught. Right? We started our business in Pinterest and Google, and we figured all the things out. We chose our favorite color usually, and we were told the following lies by industry experts. I'm not trying to throw stones or anything. Most people just don't know this exists, which is why I went to study the biggest brands, which is why I integrated what I had studied in film and in design and in color medicine and color science to come up with these theories because I knew that it worked, right? So I want to know if you've heard any of the following things. Branding doesn't matter. People buy because of you, not your brand. Or don't waste your money on branding until you've hit your first million. I've heard all of these. Every time I do a class, people have heard most of these. It can be confusing because, when we're growing our business, we're investing in masterminds and memberships and courses and group programs and high cost programs and one-on-one coaching and VIP days and events and all kinds of things. And we're building our skills in how to be a better communicator, how to have stronger messaging, how to structure our funnels, how to post on social media and get it to convert and blah, blah, blah. I mean, it goes on. And those are all worthwhile practices. But there's zero attention put on your branding, your visuals. And that accounts for so much. Look at the stats. 92% of people polled said that they bought something because of the color. 80% of those people said that they think color increases brand recognition. There's a reason why these big brands, especially the drug commercials and McDonald's and Facebook and all these people, put so much money into their marketing and into the study of color psychology. So why aren't we? And why aren't we taught this? Unless the people that we follow never saw this and never had that opportunity. So that's why it's so important to me to come in and say, hey, pay attention to this, because this is at least 50% of your marketing strategy, right? It's so, so important. That's why the big brands, the big businesses all over the world do it, right? There's a reason. There's a reason why Starbucks is the most popular coffee shop. There's a reason why their logo is the most recognizable logo in the world. It's not because of the word Starbucks, right? It's the color they use, it's the visuals they use. That is what is so strong in their marketing, and that's why they convert. Okay, sorry, I'm just going a little rant there, but this is really important. It's important to understand why this is a bit of a missing piece, why there's a little bit of a gap here, right? We need to understand this so we can make better decisions when it comes to our visual marketing in the future. So if you're at a point of going, I have heard some of these things, I really would love to work on my branding a bit, but I'm just so busy with my current business. I hear you, but it's really important to get this in place, because once it's in place, you're not having to actively work on it, right? And let's say that your visuals, and if you do this process, let's say that it increases your brand recognition and it ups your conversions, be it traffic, subscribers, or customers, by 30%, just by people, visiting your website more, converting, etc. Wouldn't it be worth putting this into place, knowing that it would increase your conversions by that percentage, and therefore you could exude 30% less effort on the front end of trying to get more clients or get more customers? Make sense? It is a worthwhile investment because it will save you time. It will save you money because you'll know, okay, I'm hiring a social media marketing person. I'm hiring an ad specialist. If you have the right visuals and they integrate them into your visibility or your publicity, you're going to get a stronger return. So it's really worth it, right? At least I think so. So if you've encountered some of these objections, I want you to understand that these objections are incorrect. Branding doesn't matter. Well, if branding didn't matter, the huge businesses wouldn't do it. People buy because of you, not your brand. Well, not really, because as we learned in Donald Miller's Building a Story Brand and so many other intensives, we know for sure that people buy because of something they need. They're paying for peace in some aspect of their life. So they might really like you, but they're not buying because of you. They're buying because they want to solve a problem. So that's not true. And then don't waste your money on branding until you've hit your first million. I guess that can give you some confidence that your messaging is on point. But imagine how much faster you would hit that first million if you put this into place sooner. So that's not really true. There's nothing more heartbreaking than someone not getting the results they want in their business and then blaming themselves. It must have been my offer, must have been my messaging. It must just be me. This line of work must not be cut out for me because it's just not working. All those things are heartbreaking, right? So my mission is to say, well, what if that isn't true? What if it's just your visuals? It's something that simple. So it's at least worth a shot to see if it makes a difference before giving up, right? At least I think so. So I would like to say that the people that say these quotes are 100% wrong. And the ones that say, well, if your messaging is on point enough, you won't need fancy branding. You won't need a fancy website. You'll just convert. Maybe, but you'll convert a heck of a lot faster if you put this into play. It would be like going to a drug company as a marketing specialist and saying, you know what? If our messaging is on point enough, you guys, and we just air enough commercials, we'll make the same amount of money. And they'd say, are you crazy? No. We have this drug. This is the color we've chosen. Like I watched a commercial the other day and their primary color was purple. And so throughout the commercial, purple freaking everything. Purple shoes, shirts, staircases, chairs, everything was purple. So do you think if I went in there and told them like, okay, let's take out the purple and let's do nothing. And let's just, have a talking head and we'll convert just as highly. They show you all the stats and go, no, you're insane. This increases our sales. And we know that because of XYZ, right? So it's just a really interesting thing to consider. And I know that it can be a challenge to break away from certain beliefs in this industry, but I think we have to, right? Just because something is heard everywhere and is common knowledge doesn't mean that it is correct. So I'm here to shake that up and say your branding does matter. The color psychology in your branding desperately matters. Why not be that lighthouse for your ideal client? Why not choose that color with intention, knowing how you're going to make them feel? There's nothing worse than figuring out that you've actually been deflecting and rejecting your ideal client based on your branding. The example I like to use is if you're a trauma therapist and you help people, release their wounds and find more balance. If your primary branding color was red, that would be a disaster, right? Physically, red increases the heart rate, dilates the pupils, increases the blood pressure. So if that's what they're seeing when they first come to your website and they're dealing with unresolved trauma, don't you think that would be a disaster? Don't we think we want to bring them into a more balancing and calming color to symbolize what they can achieve? But if you had no awareness of that, and you were out there and you were the best therapist in the world, but you were using red in your branding and it was not connecting and was in fact making people leave your website, wouldn't that be just devastating? So this is something we need to know. This is something we as business owners deserve to know. And that's the mission that I'm on. So if that's something that you're interested in, I would love for you to take the color quiz, the color masterclass. I will link one of them below so that you can take it, but just go to visibilityvixen.com and check it out. We currently have quite a few people that have enrolled in the color course. So if you've been on the fence about that, be sure to jump over there. That is all of this knowledge condensed in a course that is under $500. So this is one of the cheapest ways that you can further your education and one of the most remarkable places that you can in your business, which are the visuals. So I will link that below as well. But in the meantime, that's the rant I wanted to go on today. I wanted to break some beliefs that a lot of the big people have about branding in our industry. And I hope that I've done so successfully and that you're thinking about things in a different way. So thanks for being here. I will see you in the next episode. And in the meantime, have a great rest of your day. I hope you loved this episode as much as I did. Now we're all about building a tribe here at The Visible Entrepreneur. So be sure to subscribe, leave a 5-star review, and then head on over to the Facebook group. It's a great place where you can practice your video, live stream, and really enjoy the community that we have built. In the meantime, I'll see you in the next episode. Now get out there and get more visible.
That's a wrap.